What's a black grand national? Fuck being rational. Give them what they ask for. It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough.
You've seen it 100 times before. Slow motion, dual pistols, a guy in a trench coat diving sideways. But do you know how it really started? Before John Wick, before The Matrix, gunfights were just noise. Until John Woo came along and changed everything.
I was so crazy about a musical. So when I am choreographing the action sequence, I feel like I'm making a dancing scene.
Born in 1946 Guangzhou, China, John Woo was raised in poverty due to his family fleeing to Hong Kong to escape political unrest. He found escape in sneaking in to see films of his kid brother, and his Christian upbringing helped shape the moral codes that you come to see in his films. And despite the violence, Woo is actually a man of peace. He abhors violence. Without formal film training, he worked his way up in the Hong Kong film industry, starting with comedies before breaking out with A Better Tomorrow in 1986. A Better Tomorrow was the film that put John Woo on the map. The story follows two brothers on the opposite side of the law and a fallen gangster. The film is gory, gritty, and violent with its bloody shootouts, and the way that Leslie Chung's character treats his wife. But beyond that, it's more of a story about brotherhood and redemption, a common theme that you'll see across all John Woo movies. And he likes to convey all these masculine relationships through complicated gun sequences. Take Mark walking into a rival gang's restaurant. Sunglasses and trench coat. In just seconds, he wipes out the entire room, no emotion on his face. But in that same movie, you can have that same character drunk, broken, and crying in a wheelchair. This just goes to clarify that Mark isn't some cold-hearted gunman. He's a man grappling with his loss of his honor, identity, and friend. It's where John Woo's themes of masculinity and dignity really shine. If A Better Tomorrow was the film that kicked open the door to John Woo's bullet-riddled redemption and brotherhood, then Killa kicked it wide open. In 1989, Woo sharpened everything: his style, his emotion, his gunplay, and delivered what many call his magnum opus. The Killer is part action movie, part tragedy. It's about a hitman with a code who still believes in doing the right thing, one last time. And just like Mark from A Better Tomorrow, Ah Jung isn't just cool. He's broken. He bleeds honor, he bleeds guilt. And when he shoots, it's not just to survive. It's to protect someone who still sees good in him. In The Killer, you see a lot more of the Christian influences that John Woo grew up with and adores. There are a lot of scenes that take place within a church. You see a lot of the Virgin Mary statue, which can represent comfort, forgiveness, and unconditional compassion. Ideas Woo's characters are often desperately searching for.
It tells the killer he's looking for something. He's looking for something can make him change.
Doves, mirrors, and churches aren't just visuals, they're symbols of inner conflict. And that's what makes John Woo's action personal. It's not just a spectacle, it's a story. Guns are used as a conversation between characters, a way to express certain feelings and emotions without actually saying them. And this was especially prevalent in Hard Boiled. Hard Boiled was released in 1992 and was John Woo's farewell to Hong Kong cinema before he moved to Hollywood. At its core, it's about a tough cop who's lost too much and is still trying to fight for something that still matters. It's a gritty, emotional thrill ride that blends over-the-top action with real heart. One of the film's most powerful moments, in my opinion, is not a shootout, it's actually a standoff. It's the scene where Tequila and Alan have their guns pressed at each other's necks. Tequila has him, but Alan doesn't immediately pull the trigger. It's that split second of restraint between the two that shows Tequila there's something more to this guy. This man isn't just a criminal, he's someone of a code. Someone like him. It's that moment that plants a seed of trust between them that blooms later on in the film. Later on, this moment between Alan and One Eye when they lower their guns, not because they're out of ammo, but because there are civilians caught between them. They silently agree, this fight is theirs alone. They don't need to involve anyone innocent. And this shows that they're not just heartless killers, they're men of a code. Like when Tequila spares Alan, it's not just an action, it's restraint. In Woo's world, gunfights are a conversation, and sometimes silence hits harder. By 1997, John Woo had moved to Hollywood, and Face Off was the film where he stopped adapting and started imprinting. While Hard Target was the first film he released in the US, I feel that Face Off was the film that really cemented his reputation as a director. It's still full of all his Hong Kong signatures, but now polished to fit Western standards. He adjusted the pacing, polished the choreography, and really leaned into that star power with the wickedly talented John Travolta. But the soul of his direction never really changed. Take the mirror standoff scene of Castor and Sean facing each other. Guns raised, reflections staring back. It's duality, tension, and moral crisis, all frozen in a single moment. Or the church shootout scene, where doves scatter in slow motion as bullets rip through the stained glass. It's almost identical to The Killer, but now at a Hollywood scale. John Woo showed Hollywood that action could be stylized and have soul. He showed that cool guys didn't have to be cold, they could be vulnerable too. John Woo changed what it meant to be an action star. And in the process, he made sure they looked damn cool doing it.